Welcome back, everyone. Suncoast NPI TV. I am Jason Robinson, and I'm sitting here with Mr. Sean Stevens.
Thank you, Jason. It's good to be here.
Glad to have you. So, Sean, let's jump right into it. Tell me a little bit more about yourself and your business.
American Printing Services is a full-service printing company, and everybody says we're a full service as well. What I mean is, I help you with the design. I help you with the promotion of your business. I help you with your websites, everything. It's not just printing anymore. So I'm with you through the whole process. I do the graphic design. I will send it to print. I will follow it through print, make sure it gets delivered to you, make sure you're happy with it, fix it if you're not. So I have a lot of concepts of my own, and the problem with that is your concept and my concept might not be the same thing. So I have literally changed a brochure 50 times for somebody until they were absolutely happy with it and they loved it, and that's part of the job. At the end, I had a very satisfied customer, so you know, I did my job.
That's all that matters, and I understand 100% how that is. I'm a videographer myself, so when I'm deep in the creative process and I'm creating this visual for a client, I'm thinking this is wonderful, and they're like, hey, I don't really like that so much.
Yeah. I get that a lot sometimes too. I get creative license, so what I try to do is, I just did a business card for somebody. I did 5 versions of that business card. One of them along the lines that they were looking for, 2 of them out there in left field, and then 1 exactly like they were looking for. It turns out we took 2 or 3 ideas, combined them into 1. We got them exactly what they were, what they fell in love with.
And that's what matters. Create. Make your clients happy.
Yeah.
Repeat customers, right?
Repeat customers and referrals.
And referrals, absolutely, absolutely. So tell me more about how you got to where you are with your business.
Well, I certainly didn't start out in the printing world. I was in a pool industry. I was the production manager for a company that did chlorine generators. And the chlorine generator was pretty specific to certain areas like Florida, Arizona, that kind of thing. You're not going to see them up north because they don't use their pools all year round. So I was kind of stuck in this little job. I had no skills, no education. They hired me as the online tech, taught me about the system, and then within 5 years, I ended up being production manager, purchasing coordinator. I was kind of growing in the company. The company was, I'm going to say, bought out by Pinch a Penny, and they moved us down to Clearwater. And I was a single dad with 2 kids. There's no way I could be that far. I lived in Tarpon, and that's an hour drive without traffic. So I kind of lamented to my printer at the time, yeah, I'm looking for another job. I don't think I'm going to be here. And he happened to be hiring. So he took me under his wing, and it wasn't, I was there for about 15 years. And he got sick towards the end, but he had been kind of grooming me to take over. That's how I see it. Took me on sales calls, took me out to plants. I got to witness how presses work, and so when he got sick and his wife decided to close the doors, I kind of made a bid for the business and said, I really like this job. It's a lot of fun. I morphed it into something more than what he originally hired me for. And I took on the graphics role. I went to school, got a degree in IT, all while I was working for him, and all that kind of paid off. So when they shut the doors, my doors opened the very next day. 2 years later, I'm sitting here talking to you, and my business is booming. It's been a real eye-opener experience as to from where I came from. Like I said, no education, no skills, to where I am today with a degree and running my own business, and I couldn't be happier.
That's awesome. So it sounds like that a lot took place along your path.
It was a long path, man, and scary at times.
Oh, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. The entrepreneurial journey is definitely one of uncertainty, and there's just a lot of things to be careful of, but at the same time, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, right.
So, just thinking about the entrepreneurial journey and your journey in particular, what are, some of the biggest risks that you've taken to this point?
Well, the biggest risk ever in my whole life was moving down here from New York. Born and raised in upstate New York, and when I say upstate, it was a one-light town. The mailmen deliver by foot through the whole town. They still do. When I moved down here, I felt like I moved to Manhattan. I was down in Clearwater, Indian Rocks Beach, and there was like people everywhere you turned. You know, there's no cows, there's no, it was not home. And I had no friends, no family, no job when I moved down here. It was just, you know, me and my kids, and I was married at the time. And that was probably the biggest risk. It was worth every step of the way, but for the first 2.5, 3 months I got here, I mean, we were eating like Ritz crackers with the spray cheese because that's all we could afford. It was rough, and I happened to find a job at that time up in Palm Harbor with that pool company, and they were really good people, and it really made me feel good about my move, and you know, they helped me along the way. So I ended up being a single dad with 2 kids after that for 15 years, and if it wasn't for that those initial people that really kind of stepped in and made me realize that Florida's a really cool place to bring up your kids, and the people here are really nice, I probably would have moved back to New York and wouldn't be where I am today.
That's amazing. So what was it that inspired the move here from New York?
I was married, and her parents moved down here. So she wanted to follow her parents, wanted to be close to mom and dad, and then we had the kids. They were the only grandkids that the parents were knew. So we didn't want to be. That's 1,200 miles. That's a long journey. Mm-hmm. And we first came down here to kind of check out the area, and we were down in Indian Rocks Beach. And I told you I'm a weather nerd, and we had a storm come through, and I was videotaping, and a lightning bolt came so close it shut my camera off. I said, pack up, we're moving to Florida, man.
Wow.
That was awesome. That was really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. It's scary.
Oh, I can only imagine, because, I mean, lightning strikes.
Yeah, we got yelled at by some guy. And he's like, get off the beach, you morons.
It's like, what do you do? Clearly you're a tourist.
Yeah, clearly. But we were down here in like 6 to 8 months after that.
Wow. That is cool. So quite a journey from New York here, from pools and the printing, and now an additional, graphic design, and you do some website design as well. Is that correct?
I do website design, more website promotion.
Okay.
A lot of people don't realize you can build a beautiful website on Wix for free.
Right.
But it's a business card in a parking lot. Nobody's going to see it unless you tell them to get over there. So it's my job to make it a billboard on the side of the information highway so that everybody can see it when they're looking for that particular product.
I like that analogy, a business card in a parking lot.
Yep.
That is so true.
And I literally take a business card and throw it on the ground when I talk to my customers, and I say, can you see that anywhere? You got to point people to it.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
Yeah, Wix is killing the business with that, that, you can build it for free nonsense. Mm-hmm. They're not clean websites, and, the people in the website business, we just shake our head when people are like, oh, I did it on Wix. Well, okay.
I wonder how well that's working.
Yeah, you'll come back.
So with that being said, well, what's the best piece of professional advice that you can offer someone in the business world, or they're starting a business, or maybe they've had their business for a little while?
Best piece of advice I could say is join a group that promotes each other, much like NPI. I'd not been in a group before. I flirted around with a couple groups. I never did join. Once I started my own company, I decided that was going to be one of the key things I should do, is reach out into the community to other entrepreneurs. I didn't realize that everybody in these kind of businesses, in these groups, they like to help each other. They literally kick business your way. They come and ask you, hey man, what do you need? This group is great because they encourage us to do these one-on-ones where you really get to know the other people, so you get a trust, that's built. Mm-hmm. And then, if you, and they encourage you to reach out for help. If you need something, call us. We can help you with this. We can help you with that. And I think that's fantastic. So anybody who's trying to get into the business world and do it on their own, join a group and reach out and just soak up all that knowledge that you can.
Awesome. So thinking about that, what about your personal experience with the group, and how has NPI helped your business?
Well, this guy Rich, actually, I was picking up my shirts at a dry cleaner. I was talking about this group that I was going to join, and he says, oh, you got to join this group with us. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll check it out. I went to the first group, on a Tuesday. It was okay. The people were really cool. It was, but it was just didn't quite sit right. I went to the next day. I went to NPI, saw Rich. It was nice. Then I met John. And that guy is like a fireball on wheels, man. And not just with his energy, but his inspiration. And he's been around, you know. He looks like he's, you know, 28 years old, but he talks like he's 50-something, 60-something, and he's had, you know, a ton of jobs across the country. He's done so many things. And the knowledge that this guy has, he's just kind of really, really inspiring. And I'm kind of really busy because I'm the only guy in my business. I got a new baby at home, so I don't have as much time to do some of the one-on-ones and community stuff that the other guys do. But I'm working on that, you know, and I realize how important that is too, giving back to that community that you're living in, and you know, you're taking money from them. You got to do something to give it back. It's a full circle thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, congratulations on the new baby, by the way.
Thanks.
How's that going?
This is my third time around, you know, and it's been 20 years in between the kids.
It's a nice gap.
Yeah. So I forgot how much sleep you lose in the first 9 months, but he's fantastic. My wife's from Taiwan, and watching her with the baby is, he's learning a lot of the Taiwanese culture. They speak to each other in Chinese. Well, she speaks to him in Chinese. I think he's speaking back there in the Chinese. I don't know. I asked her if he actually said something because he doesn't say English words yet. So he could be speaking Chinese for all I know, and I don't know. But she's great. He's great. I love it. You know, being a father is probably the best thing I've ever done in my life. And I thought it was over when both my kids went off into the military. And when I said goodbye to my daughter, she headed off into the Air Force. I was home for 4 or 5 days. I just didn't leave. I didn't know what to do. You know, I'm done being a dad. How does that grab you? So a couple years later, I meet Shojun, and you know, we got married, and then 2 years later, surprise, you know.
Awesome.
And it's great. I love it.
Awesome.
I'm not going to do it again, but it's great, you know. Awesome.
Well, we have about 30 seconds or so left. Is there anything else that you'd like to throw in?
No, not really. Just join these groups and you know, reach out to your local businessmen, and you'd be surprised how much help is actually out there for you, and how much knowledge is out there for you to grow your business.
Awesome. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, Jason.
Sean Stevens with Printing Services LLC and Suncoast NPI. We'll be back.